I had a really interesting conversation with a friend of mine the other day about feelings, in particular about anger, and how actually in our society, anger certainly feels like to me one of the hardest feelings to figure out. So I really believe that like there should be no judgment against any feelings. Like they're all acceptable, they're all important, and they're the body's way of expressing what's going on inside of us, and they need to be let out, right? And sadness, it's much easier to cope with laughter and happiness. We as society, have no problem with that. But anger really seems to be quite tricky, and I think the reason is because we need to split out the feeling as such, and then the behavior that triggers. So in my kids, sometimes when they're really, really angry, they will slam doors, they will smash stuff, they might try to push their siblings or whatever. And I find that not acceptable. But how do I've struggled with communicating with them that the anger is fine, but how they express it is not. So I've tried various things, and I'd love to hear your thoughts as well, how you do that in your family. So we've introduced things like, okay, if you're really, really mad, go punch a cushion or jump on the trampoline to get rid of that energy, because anger is one of the only feelings that quite severely, I want to say, but really quickly produces excess energy. Like it's that fight or flight response, right? So that energy needs to go somewhere, and I understand that, but it's obviously not acceptable to slam doors or hit people, or and I guess it's our responsibility as parents to figure out a way to teach children that the anger is acceptable, but how we express that is something that we need to learn in an acceptable way. And I find that quite hard at times. Anyway, I'd love to hear from you. What's your take on this, and how do you do that in your family?